Hey, aloha, what's going on? It's Hal Wilkerson with Hawaii Property Advisors. Today is Friday, April 9th, and this is the Hawaii Real Estate Roundup today. And I'm taking a little bit of a different tack. So based on some feedback, I think I'm going to start adding some additional information on the front side of the show, sort of to make it a little more interesting, answer some questions that are burning in my audience's mind. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to answer this 4 questions to ask before buying a condo in Hawaii. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, or if this is one of your early or first forays into the Hawaii real estate and you're still learning a thing or two, I will let you know that the condo market is in an interesting place here in April of 2021. The single family market is on fire right now. I mean, literally burning at both ends, and if you own a single family house in Hawaii and you've considered, even thought about selling it, there is no better time than now to sell it. But the condo market is a very interesting market because it's actually had a little bit of a soft spot here in the last few months. But we're starting to see a little bit of a reversal in those trends. And so I'm getting a lot more questions about condos. I'm getting a lot more activity with buyers about condos. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to answer 4 questions to ask before buying a condo. And I get this almost every day, a lot of these questions. So I thought, why not just do a little video about it? Now, for those of you that watch my show regularly, you know what I typically do is I'll review 2 versions of the property, 2 categories of properties in Hawaii. The single family, I'll show you the high, the median, and low, and then I'll show you the condos, the high, the median, and the low. I'm going to skip the single families today. Sorry for all you single family folks out there, but we're going to look at condos specifically. And so I'm going to answer these 4 questions, and then we're going to take a look at the highest condo on the market, the median on the market today, and then also the low. Without any further ado, let's get started. By the way, have I told you thank you for watching? Oops, let's see here. Okay. All right, so question numero uno. Should I buy a leasehold or a fee simple? And I tell you, for the first timers coming to the market in Hawaii, you always hear these stories about how crazy the Hawaii real estate prices are. They're just unreal. And then you go on Zillow or you go on hpahomes.com. By the way, that's my website. I do recommend it. It's very good. And, they they'll come across like this, what appears to be a multi-million-dollar condo beachfront in Kahala, and it's listed for like $79,000. And the first thing they do is pick up the phone and call me. I mean, I literally... There's one in particular, and for all you realtors out there that are watching, you know about it. This is the one that everybody calls about. There's the Kahala condos that are right sort of on the other side of Diamond Head. It's just premier, first class, very nice condos. It only has 5 years left, maybe 6 years left on the leasehold. They're not renewing the leasehold. Nobody knows what's going to happen to the building. But it's a super cheap deal. You can buy a property in there for like $60,000, $70,000. And that's all good and well, but there's a lot of other factors to consider. So if you don't know what leasehold is, the long and short of it is, a leasehold is when you buy the structure, but you lease the land. You buy the structure, but you lease the land. What does that mean? Well, when the lease is over, you don't own that land, and ergo, the structure on the land is no longer yours. Now, there's a lot of different little nuances to this, but primarily what that means is the closer you are to the end of the leasehold, the lower the property is going to trade at. So that's why you see what would, by all accounts, be a $500,000, a $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 condo trading at $60,000. And the reason is, when you look into the details, is that the lease is probably nearing the end of its life, and we don't know what's going to happen. Now, there's a lot of shall we call it water cooler talk that happens in the real estate market amongst, agents and those professionals in this market that are, you kind of what's really going on. And so sometimes, that's valuable little, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember. There's some Navy term, not geedunk, but there's like, valuable information to know if you are looking to invest in that space. And so, but that's really what happens. Fee simple. Now, what is a fee simple property? A fee simple is straight out, you own the land underneath the building, you own the building or the condo, and that's it. You buy it, you own it, it is yours until you sell it. Okay? So here's my mantra. Basically, if you're going to ask the question, should I buy a leasehold or a fee simple? There are leaseholds in Hawaii that do make sense to buy. And that would only be for one reason, and that is if it is an approved short-term rental building, which there are 27 at last count if you add the two towers that the Ritz-Carlton recently built in Waikiki. There's 27 towers or 27 buildings in Waikiki that you can buy a fee simple or leasehold that is legal short-term rental approved. Okay, so if you're in one of those towers and you're buying a leasehold, it can make sense, especially if you can get a pretty good deal on it. And here's why. Short-term rentals are going to bring in a lot higher margin than a long-term rental will. And so even though it's a leasehold, even though you maybe not be able to own that property outright after the 15, 20, 30 years, however long it may be that the leasehold remains on it, you can still, based on the current market study, if you've done your research, you can still make money on it and you can return your money within 4, 5, 6 years, sometimes less than 4, and then you've got the 10 years remaining on the lease that you can make money on. So that's why I generally don't recommend that you buy a leasehold to live in. You buy a leasehold to invest and to cash flow, because you need to get your money back out as soon as possible and get that investment flowing. Fee simple, if you're going to live in it, you need to have a fee simple. Now, let's talk about financing on fee simples versus leaseholds. The VA has special rules. I think they have a 44-year rule. If they do lend on a leasehold building, it has to have at least a 44-year term remaining on that lease. There's very few that have that remaining term of their lease. Most of them are, anywhere from as low as 5 years or so in 2021 up to, I think I saw the highest I've seen is 71. And now that one would qualify for a VA because it's like 50 years out. They just renegotiated it and they just re-upped it. But here's the thing, right? Here's why banks typically don't like to lend on a leasehold, because if you do a 30-year mortgage, all right, and the leasehold the lease is 19 years, well, the bank is not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole because its term of the lease is less than the term of a conventional type of mortgage instrument. And so that's why you have to pay cash for a leasehold, and that's why they trade at a lower levels as well. I hope that makes sense, but my fundamental rules are leasehold to invest, fee simple to live in. You do not want to live in a leasehold unless it has like a 50-year lease or something like that. Okay, so that's the first question. A long answer to it, but that's the first question. Second, maintenance fees. This is a big one. What do the maintenance fees include? First of all, electricity is a big one. It's very rare, but if you can find a maintenance fee that includes an electricity, that's going to be a good thing, because irregardless of what your electrical use is, individually as a unit, it's going to be included. Most of the time, it's not included, okay? Hot water, that's another big one. There are some older buildings that do have hot water included in them, and if you've ever had an electric bill, you know that probably the largest user of electricity in your home is your hot water heater. So if you have hot water, a building has a boiler and they provide hot water to all the units, they can do it at economies of scale for much cheaper than it costs to do individual hot water heaters, then that's an excellent inclusion if you can find one. Central AC, that's another one. There's still a number of buildings that have central AC that will be included, that again, included in your maintenance fee. You don't have to deal with electricity, you don't have to deal with maintenance of your AC, it's just included. And that's another big one. A lot of times in your condo tells, you'll see that, et cetera. So those are the big three. If they include those three, I would give them a good look. If they don't include those three, you need to basically just ask yourself, well, what is it that I'm receiving for this maintenance fee that's making it valuable? And a lot of times you're going to have nice amenities. You're going to have a pool. You're going to have a barbecue grill. You're going to have some meeting areas. Oftentimes you'll have a rooftop area in a lot of those buildings, and it's nice, but that's what you're paying for with your maintenance fees. Now one other thing is when you're talking about maintenance fees is the next one, which is assessments. And I apologize, fee simple to live in, that's not supposed to be there. So assessments. So what are we talking about as far as assessments? Well, I can tell you story after story of homeowners associations that haven't properly managed their reserves. They haven't done a reserve study in recent times, and so they will have very large capital expenditures that they need to make. For example, I think the Waikiki Marina building has got apparently a very large assessment coming up to pay for their elevator. Their elevators, their whole system of elevators is broken, and it's a huge, tall building, and it needs to be paid for by all of the owners in order to run. Well, I don't know what the exact dollar amount is, but we're talking about the order of several $1 million, and that's spread out among 400 units or so. It can get expensive because you're basically, the homeowners association can essentially say, hey, we have this assessment, we have to pay for the elevator, or we have to pay for painting, or we have to pay for a new roof, or we have to pay for a new hot water system, or a new sprinkler system. That's another big one. And they can assess that to the homeowners. And so that if it's an unbudgeted personal expense, that's no fun for anyone. I've heard of stories of people being assessed, $15,000 assessment because they bought a condo that happened to have not had a very good management history, and they had to come out of pocket $15,000 within 6 months of buying their property. And so that's something that's important to know, is are there any assessments? So you can see if there's any upcoming. If you look at the minutes now, whenever you're doing your due diligence on your condos, you always get a copy of your condo association documents, and that generally includes at a minimum the last 2 minutes or meeting minutes from the last 2 meetings. And that is going to have a lot of valuable information, but it also is going to have some information that's maybe not written in there that you can sometimes, if you can make a phone call to, or have your realtor, if he's a savvy realtor, reach out to the president of the association and just say, hey, what's going on? I saw there was a notice or mention of this. I'd be interested in learning more about that. I happen to serve on the homeowners association of my community. I'm not in the I don't live in a condo. I live in a residential community here in Kapolei. And I know a lot about what's going on in my neighborhood. And so if a realtor was savvy enough to call me and find out, they could get a lot of good information from me. And that's what I do as a realtor. I reach out to other homeowner association presidents because I speak their language. I know kind of what goes on in the homeowners association management or condo association management. And I can ask questions and help uncover those types of things. So that's another big one, especially if the building is an older or aged building. Those are the ones that you sort of have to be aware or wary of. One in recent memory is the Marco Polo building. The Marco Polo building it's a great building. It's right outside of Waikiki, just across the canal, but tragically, they had a fire in 2018, I think early 2018, and it did result in, sadly, at least one fatality that I remember. But they were up to code at that time, but the code didn't require that building in that year to have a working sprinkler system, and then as a result, this particular condo had a lot of fuel inside of it. We'll just say that. I don't know what the situation was, but it was very strange because there was so much stuff inside of this thing to burn, but they didn't have a system to put the fire out, and someone died. So now they changed the rules in I think that legislative session or shortly thereafter. And I think it was a city and county thing, not a state thing, although it could have been. I can't remember, honestly. But at any rate, they now require all of those condos had to get retrofits, or they're in the process of getting retrofitted if they didn't have a sprinkler system. So that's another important one that could be an assessment. So that's a third question asked. And finally is parking. A lot of people take for granted, parking, but if you're going to buy a condo, it does not always come with a parking spot, and so you want to make sure it's got your needs. Now, if you're going to live in a high-density residential area, I would argue you may not need a vehicle, and so if that's the case, that's great. But if you do, obviously that's going to make the condo more valuable, and so that's another big question that you always want to ask. So those are 4 questions to ask for what you should look for. 4 questions to ask when buying a condo in Hawaii. Number 1, is it leasehold or fee simple? Number 2, what are the maintenance fees and what do they cover? Number 3, are there any assessments that have been assessed recently or upcoming that I should be aware of? And 4th, what is the parking situation like? If you answer those 4 questions, you've really hit the big key things for buying a condo. There are other components and other elements of it. I could literally talk for hours about a lot of this stuff, but those are the big 4 that I wanted to draw out. So we have gone for 17 minutes. In my normal process, as you know, I do review the high, median, and low. So I skipped the single family today. Let's see what is on the market brand new today for the condo market. First one up is in Diamond Head. It's the Coral Strand building. And actually, this one's coming soon. And this one is going to be, let's look at the location of this one. It's actually going to be in, I believe, what they call the Gold Coast. Yeah, this is the Gold Coast here. So you can see that's Diamond Head right there. And once you pass the zoo, you pass the big Kalakaua Park. This is Kapiolani Park over here. You've got the Shell, the Waikiki Shell, which is a very cool amphitheater, by the way. I saw Jack Johnson there. Very cool. But at any rate, down here this is called the Gold Coast because sort of it's developed a reputation to be sort of where the high maka folks lived. But at any rate, so you're going to be in this building right here, the Coral Strands. It's got a pool right there on the ocean. And I think this one is on the 8th floor. Yeah, you're on the 8th floor here. So coming soon. Ocean views, one-of-a-kind, fully furnished gym on Oahu's Gold Coast. An extra-large 1,010 square foot unit, fully upgraded in 2019 by talented designer, craftsmen, and high-end materials and appliances. Wolf, Sub-Zero, and Bosch. For the discerning buyer who appreciates fine things, no details were overlooked. Custom cabinets, barn doors, built-in entertainment system with a 55-inch smart TV and bookcase. 60-bottle wine fridge, smart home tech, tinted glass doors, plant shutters, California closets, polk speakers, custom lightings, quartz counters, farmhouse sink, coiford ceilings. That's a good one. Coiford ceilings, a Toto toilet, custom shower, Zappella door with a nautical porthole. I'm on a boat, yeah, I'm on a boat. Luxury laminate flooring. Don't miss this luxury oceanfront retreat minutes from Waikiki. Furnishings included except artwork and personal belongings. This is coming soon. It's not on the market yet. They're asking $1.875 for this little guy. Look at that. Nice sunset. Sort of west facing, which is nice. That's your 60 bottle wine fridge. Very, very nice. The coifred ceiling. Look at the coifred ceiling right there. Recessed lights. You got Polk speakers in there. Nice. I wonder if they have microphones for Google Home or something. It's a smart home. There's your nautical themed door. It's almost like you're on a stateroom on a cruise ship, huh? You walk into that baby, you look out amongst the waves, put on your cashmere jacket and your pipe and your hat and say, "Ahoy, matey." Just kidding. This is nice. Built-in entertainment system. That's kind of cool. You know, I'm a fan of the two-tone sort of approach that we're seeing more and more in some of these high-end custom designs. It's a little different departure from, you know, the traditional wood grain. And people are getting bolder with their colors, and I actually like this. Now, I'm not a fan, personally, just me, I'm not a fan of the white cabinetry, but when you throw in a nice, bold royal blue on the bottom, that's a very nice touch. It's a very nice touch. You got a farmhouse sink there, nice big sink, got Wolf appliances, Sub-Zero fridge, Bosch, etc. Nice wood plank flooring. Oh, look at the barnyard doors there. So they're sort of like pocket doors, but they don't go into the pocket. They just open up. So you can kind of close that off, which is kind of interesting. Nice shower area there. Your Toto toilet. There it is. There's the Gold Coast. So that's typically what they call the Gold Coast there. Diamond, right at the foot of Diamond Head. Just absolutely magnificent. I love Hawaii. Don't you love Hawaii? Hawaii is the best. It's like if there was heaven on earth, it would be Hawaii. So that's your unit right there. So looking slightly to the west. Might have a little bit of a blocked view from this little guy right next to it, but an in-person tour would be able to tell you that. Got your pool down there. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, coming soon. We'll see when that one goes on the market, probably in the next day or two. Okay, so that's the top of the stack. So let's talk about median. So the median price right now is right about, how many are we? 36 on new to the market today. So the condo market's starting to get a little bit of steam back to it. It's been a little soft, a little depressed here for the last year as COVID has sort of run its course. But anyway, now we're getting a lot more. 36 today. So, you know, I'm kind of liking the Waikiki kind of downtown area feel. Let's see, the Academy Towers. What do we want to look at that's in the mid-range? 60 Parkside, Waipiu Acres, Moiliili, Crystal Park. That's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, right at $599, 978 square feet. Let's look at this. Spacious, bright corner, 2-bed, 2-bath, 2 parking seat. That's it. All about the parking. Brand new beautiful vinyl flooring throughout, paint, 3 AC units in the tub reglaze, good storage, beverage center, floor to ceiling winnings, overlooking the neighboring park. Very conveniently located near UH, other schools, Waikiki, Alamo, and shopping. Must see. Easy to show, must be vacant. And you know what? Let's look at the condo fees. $688 on this one. It does include hot water. And it also includes cable TV and internet service. So cable TV and internet service alone, you know, it's easily going to be $75 plus, especially if you're including TV. So if you're including TV, you're including internet, it's going to be $110, $120 area right there. So you knock off $120 off of that, you're down at $560 or so. And then your hot water is probably going to be at least a $50 bill. So now you're at like $500. So you're paying like $500 for water. Water is going to be an $80 bill. Now you're down to $420. So you're basically paying $420 for trash and you know, all the amenities that are going to be in this condo. So let's take a look. Is this a ground floor unit? No, 210. It doesn't appear to be. Oops, what's going on? What did I do? Sorry, excuse me. Another angle of living area, living and dining area. Great storage closet, washer and dryer in a living room. 2 bedroom, 2 bath, spacious entry area, lots of cabinets for storage, kitchen, living area. This is a nice little unit from the living room towards the entry. Front door with spacious entry area, corner unit windows. First bedroom is through the open door to the right. Master bedroom looks out to the peaceful park. Excuse me. Yeah, that's nice. A little overlook of the park there. It's a great little unit. That's what it looks like without being staged. It's a master bedroom with the master bath. Excuse me. Very nice. Mo'iliili is in a great location. Sort of kind of off. It's basically sort of the backside of Kaimuki, on the other side of Kapiolani, King Street. But it's pretty much town. I mean, it's close. It's close to Waikiki, but it's sort of like Mo'iliili. It's kind of very close to the H1 is going to be that's the second full bedroom. I mean full bath. Look at that. 2 full parking spots near the elevator, secure gated garage. Yeah. It's going to have exterior hallways. Entry to Crystal Park. So, Makahiki Way, huh? 855 Makahiki Way. Yeah, so that's actually the west end of Waikiki right there. That's the landmark building right there, I believe. It looks like the landmark building. Yeah, that's the Century Center over there. Yeah. Yeah, so you're sort of Mo'iliili, you're sort of like West Mo'iliili right here. Look at that. Look at the glass there. It's interesting. I've never seen this building before. Crystal Park from the front. And there's a view from your unit. Nice. Nice shade trees out there. So yeah, so that's great. Let's look at the map where this bad boy is. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so H1 is up here. I mean, that's Macaulay, Mo'iliili. Macaulay, yeah, I mean, that would almost, I don't know if I mean, I guess you could call that Mo'iliili. That would almost be closer to my Macaulay. It's sort of right in between Macaulay and Mo'iliili. Which, by the way, I've yet to figure out why they call this area Mo'iliili. I don't know if there's a Mo'iliili street, but it's sort of, yeah, just down from this area generally is called Mo'iliili. Kind of right where King Street, you've got like this funky exit right here. That's kind of the far end of Mo'iliili. And this is Kaimuki over here. Anyway. So yeah, Makahiki Way, 855 Makahiki Way, asking $499. I think that's a good little deal right there. Just for kicks and giggles, and then I will get on to the bottom of the stack. Let's see what this, what was it called? The Crystal Park, right? Building name, Crystal Park. Let's see what the price. There's hardly any. 571 was this thing has not had a lot of sales. Interesting. I mean, it's had 1 in February, 1 in March a year ago. Wow, this thing does not turn over very frequently. So that's why. I don't know. That's why I haven't seen it before. But let's take a look. So price per square foot. So was it 606 in March 2 years ago? Wow. 571 is the most recent. This one, they put it at $499 divided by 978, 510. So this is a little bit of a bargain. So like I said, the condo market is soft right now. Granted, there's not a lot of data, but I would say this is a good deal. A $510 per square foot right there in town. You got internet, cable included, hot water included. Yeah, That's a deal. I don't think that one's going to be on the market very long. Good job, Lori, over at True Real Estate Hawaii. Nice. All right. Let's see what next. Let's go down to Kenau. Okay, bottom of the stack. We're going to be over to the Ward Kenau building. This is going to be a studio for $232,000, 365 square feet, brand new, on the market today. What do they include? $560 includes hot water, so that's a good deal, and also sewer and water. So your electrical is not going to be really high. Highly upgraded, ready to move in. This spacious studio living space upgraded in 2016 with new kitchen cabinets, stainless steel appliances, LED lighting, rich wood laminate flooring. Just added fresh coat of paint from top to bottom, new electrical outlets and switches, bathroom refresh with new vanity and lighting. Enjoy the city lifestyle with the convenience and close proximity to many entertainment, shopping, and dining options. Let's take a look. Virtually staged. So you can see you got your door right there. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 locks on that door. It's like one of those old movies. Could be an indicator of the neighborhood. Kenau, and also an indicator of what type of security building has. I'm guessing with 4 locks, probably not a lot. It's going to be on the 7th floor. Got a little closet over there, reach-in kind of scenario next to the bathroom. That's interesting. Oh yeah, no, that's good. There is what she looks like empty. That's virtual staging really does a nice job of sort of helping you visualize what you could do with the space. Well done, Brandon. Brandon Kim. It's your bathroom there. It's going to be your view. Maybe that's another view. You're on the 7th floor, so possibly. That is. There's the Moana Pacific in the distance. The Ward Kenau. So yeah, that's the bottom of the stack. $232,000 for a generously sized studio. But I am going to wrap it up right there, folks. I want to say thank you for watching today. Again, my name is Hal Wilkerson, and you've been watching the Hawaii Real Estate Roundup. I do a show every day, 6 days a week, and I review the latest and greatest in the real estate market here in Hawaii. Try and keep on topic with some good, relevant feedback and comments. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hey, listen, if you did, why don't you give me a like? Would you give me a like? If you liked anything that you heard today, give me a like. If you liked more, give me a subscription. We're growing. We're almost to 90. We're at like 83 subscribers at this moment. So I'd love to have you as a subscriber. But also, don't forget, you can check out our Facebook group where it's growing every day. We have a real estate group there at Hawaii, fb.com/groups/Hawaii Real Estate Roundup. Join the group there, and you can ask questions. You can interact with me. Also, I answer questions and comments below my videos as well. And finally, don't forget, check out our website, hpahomes.com. I mentioned this one earlier. You can find your dream home in paradise. We have thousands of high-res photos and videos, virtual walkthroughs, interactive maps, saved searches, and more. And listen, if you found this valuable information and you're working with a realtor, by all means, share it with them if there's something valuable or good or informative inside there. If you don't have a realtor that you're working with, or if you're looking for someone that's knowledgeable in the market, that studies every day, that is a student of his craft, I'd love to interview for the opportunity to help you out in your real estate transaction here in Hawaii. So anyway, that's all I've got. Hawaii Property Advisors, don't forget, we give you great advice and show you gorgeous homes. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend. Aloha. See ya.